very much, Raina. Time to talk winners and losers on Wall Street with financial expert Rob Black joining us remotely. Rob, good morning on this Wednesday. We're waiting for the Fed minutes to come out. How's the markets reacting in advance of that?
We're trying to go sideways for a couple days instead of going down, find out where people won't sell, where people won't really buy. It's a good thing to do to put a floor in. Tonight, we're going to get NVIDIA's earnings reports. That's a big one because they're one of the big 10 that control the direction of the S&P 500, like Apple and Microsoft. But like you said, at 10 a.m. this morning, the Federal Reserve is going to release its notes. They're going to talk about the economy. They're going to talk about inflation. They're going to talk about buying back mortgage-backed securities, which helps lower mortgage rates. Now they're trying to end that. So it's probably, I'd like shockingly bad news because we don't want to get complacent. We want to stay on top of inflation. We'll see. We'll talk about this tomorrow, I'm sure. Still a lot of stuff out there. Oil's stubbornly high. It's the #1 problem in the world right now. And it doesn't go lower until Russia stops what they're doing in Ukraine. COVID still has issues in Beijing, and it's starting to affect, again, factory shutdowns. And people are starting to wonder if Apple's going to get enough phones this year. Dick's Sporting Goods shows us the consumer's not doing all that great. Just like Walmart and Target showed us, inflation's biting the consumer. We're cutting down on discretionary. We're staying with our staples, but it's costing us our discretionary things like TVs. And the Senate background check, I should bring this up because there's a shooting in the news, obviously. Yeah. The Senate wants to get a background check done. And typically when this happens, you see companies like Sturm Ruger and Smith Wesson go lower. That's not going to happen because I think we all know Congress isn't going to do anything about background checks. So strange how headlines like a school shooting bleed into my world of talking about economic data. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's talk about rising interest rates, too, or at least mortgage rates, because I think that's kind of directly tied to this next topic of new home sales, I guess, falling sharply. How sharp are we talking?
New home sales dropped 16%. That's a big drop, and it's a month-on-month trend, and it's a year-over-year trend. And you're starting to see economists in the real estate industry say things like, this is a recession alarm. This is an acceleration of recession coming to our industry. It's a warning, a plunge. James, I know you've been looking for a house for a while. You're going to probably get your chance in the next 6 to 18 months if you have a down payment.
Okay.
Because at this point in time, we're starting to see just a massive volume drop. And we're still not seeing prices drop. But when you start cutting down on buyers, it should help the situation for people who want to get into the market. The average new home is about $450,000, and that's up 19% year over year. Existing homes are about $100,000 cheaper. But both those trends have been very strong on price action. You can't predict housing crashes, but if the stock market goes lower, if the recession happens, if we see job cuts, you're going to see home prices come lower.
Okay, good enough, Rob. Thank you so much. Again, let Rob know what topics you want to talk to him about, and he'll bring it up tomorrow, hopefully. You can find him on Facebook, Twitter. You can see his handles on the screen. You can always email him directly at the address there, rob@robblack.com. Thank you, Rob.